Hey, welcome back to Midnight Meteor. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be an adventure. I can already feel it. We are going to be reading I Took a Job as a Fire Lookout in the Middle of the Woods. I found a strange set of rules to follow. So, this is by SquishyCabbage on Nosleep. This was made 5 years ago, it seems like. That's what at least what the Reddit post says, 5 years ago. It does seem like he's made more stories. They, her, a, he. I don't know. Didn't really look into any of that. Really don't care. Other than they make cool stories on our sleep, and they have their own Reddit. So go give them a love. The SquishyCabbage. Yeah, we're gonna read this. We're gonna sit back and chill, get spooked. I got my Mountain Dew, always delicious. And then I've got my voice nice and clear now because of the Mountain Dew. Kind of dive in. I don't have much else. I don't have any announcements or whatever you want to call it. But if you feel inclined, please like, comment, and subscribe. That always helps. And we're going to dive right in. All right, ready? Let's go. I took a job as a fire lookout in the middle of the woods. I found a strange set of rules to follow. This is the first night. After my divorce, I had nothing. Wanting to start over, I had moved out to a crappy apartment in a new city, had no real job, no pets, no kids, and obviously no wife. No real connections to the rest of the world. I was just existing. I was constantly applying to any job I could find, and had landed a shitty job in a shitty cafe serving shitty coffee to shitty people. I was bored and miserable, and despite only recently relocating to another city, I needed more drastic change. And now, the jackpot has hit. Amidst all those random applications I had submitted was one for a fire lookout in the middle of the woods. No prior experience needed. That's right, a fire lookout. Those people who live isolated in a 70-foot tall tower in the middle of the woods, looking out for fire and narking on campers. Despite all the weird applications I submitted, I remember filling this one out because I had found it odd it stated the role was currently filled, but they were accepting applications in case it suddenly became available. I remember thinking, weird, but going for it anyway. And now I've got the job. I got a phone call from a gruff-sounding guy who told me the pay and that I'd be living in a tower until the end of summer, so around 2 months. He also told me it was imperative I start right away, providing me directions and informing me that I would be starting tomorrow if I accept, which I did. So here's to a fresh start. I have just parked my car in the furthest point it could possibly go, and now I'm going to have to hike to the tower. It's just past 8 a.m., and Mark, the guy who gave me the call, said the hike would take around 4 hours. So, setting off now, expecting to be there for lunch. Mark assured me that there would be a full stock of food at my tower, my new home, and that I'd be able to radio the nearest tower where I'd receive the lowdown of how everything works. It's chilly for a summer morning, but I'm very excited for the hike, as the woods in these parts are known for their beauty and quiet atmosphere, something I've longed for. I just arrived at the tower, just past 1 p.m. The hike was challenging but easy to navigate, as it was well signposted and had a clear trail. The tower was much bigger than I thought it would be. I'd estimated it's around 100 feet tall, with just a hut on top of 4 stilts, a winding staircase around the outside leading up to it. Next to the tower, an outhouse and a storage unit, which I'm guessing is where the food is stored. I'll explore later once I get into my hut and set my rucksack down. The stairs were a hell of a climb. A bit tired, but I'll get used to it. The hut is small, has a balcony all the way around. Inside there's a bed, a big radio, and a table with a map, some books, a toolbox, a smaller portable radio, a lamp, binoculars, and a flashlight. The sides of the hut were windows, so from the inside I could see outstretched woods all around me. Creepy, makes sense as I'm literally keeping an eye out for fires. I set my rucksack down and remembered what Mark had said about radioing the nearest tower for directions. So I did. Hello? Is anyone there? I asked as I fumbled with the big radio.
Hey, you're the new guy, aren't you? I'm Allison.
A chirpy-sounding woman replied through the static.
I've been covering your part of the woods whilst you were making the journey here, but couldn't really see too far into it, so I'm glad you're here.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm the new guy, Oscar. I radio backed. Mark said you could give me the lowdown?
I can! Well, you've already figured out how to work the radio, so that's a start. The toilets are at the bottom of the tower, so is the food stock, which gets topped up every week by Mark or his son. As for the actual job, it's a lot of looking around, making sure nobody is camping at night when they shouldn't be, and making sure no fires are started.
Alice went on.
Also making sure the paths are all clear, but it's all in the handbook, which should be on your desk. Give that a read.
Thanks, Allison. I'll give that a shot and get back to you, I enthusiastically replied. I'll radio if I have any questions. No response. Cool. She seems pleasant enough. I reached for the handbook and was flicking through it. It basically said everything she had just told me in more mumbo-jumbo technical terms, but I'll study it back to front to make sure I do a good job. As I flicked through, a piece of paper fell out of the handbook. It was lined paper, which had been handwritten in blue ink. The handwriting was messy, almost frantic. The paper read, Rules to avoid the smiling lady. Number 1. If you see a woman in the woods with a manic smile on her face, don't approach her or draw attention to yourself. Return to your tower. 2. If your radio goes off and it's anyone except your closest tower, don't answer it, no matter what you hear. 3. If you hear a woman crying between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., ignore it. Number 4. At night, always sleep with your lamp on. If it starts to flicker, quickly run to turn on your main light until morning. If your lamp flickers off completely before you can do this, hide under your bed until morning. Number 5. At night, if you hear someone running up the stairs to your tower, also turn on the main light until morning. If you don't do this and by the time she's at the top, it's too late. Rule number 6. If you wake up and see the smiling woman staring at you through the window, hide under your covers and hold your breath. She will come into your hut and you will feel her breathing right above you as if she is hovering over you. Do not breathe. This will only last a few seconds. Once you feel her leave, turn on the main light until morning. 7. If you hear any scratching at any point, either on your hut or by the outhouse, turn off the radios and hide under your covers until the scratching stops. 8. If you are investigating a campfire at night and upon your arrival you hear a woman scream, run back to the tower as fast as you can. 9. If at any point you are returning to your tower and you notice someone else inside it, run. Do not stop until you reach the next tower. Do not look back. She will be chasing you. What the hell? Is this some kind of sick, creepy joke? I reached for the radio to ask Allison about the weird rules I just found, but I don't want to be the new guy who fell for the prank and gets made fun of for being creeped out, so I'm just going to leave it. Instead, I'll explore the area a bit and finally eat some food. Get settled in. So, this is a good stopping point. I'm setting myself up for a prediction in the future. A lot of this depends on the safety of electricity and the big light on the tower. I have an eerie suspicion that one of those two things is going to break, because it seems like half of the rules you have to have the big light on or she won't approach you. So I have an eerie suspicion that something is going to break the big light, and he's going to be camping underneath the bed a lot. Like, could you imagine hearing someone just trampling up those stairs at you and you can't see down? Like, it's not like the floor is see-through. Like, you either have to go out the door and look down to see what the fuck is coming up the stairs, or you just prepare to die, I guess. Because it doesn't sound like he brought a gun with him, and it doesn't sound like they have a gun for him, and it also doesn't sound like the screaming lady or the smiling lady gives a shit that he has a gun or not. So it's just, I'm predicting that the light, and especially that last one. Rule number 9. That don't, if you see anyone in your tower, don't go inside. Just run to the next tower. I have a feeling that's a setup. They wrote these rules because this happens a lot, and let me tell you why. Because I've done all these scenarios have been done. So that's where my prediction is. I want to, right now, go ahead and write your prediction down for the future. So to see if you guys are right or not, I want to know what you guys think about the story so far. I'm kind of hooked in. I'm going to keep going. All right, we're going to dive right back in.
Good night, dude.
Allison radioed in just as I was drifting off to my first night. I jolted out of sleep with a fright and hastily radioed back. Good night, Alice. Thanks for the help today. My first day was done. After eating, I explored the woods and became acquainted with the machete used for clearing paths, which was a great stress relief. I had also read up on some of the laws of the woods and further responsibilities of the job. Allison had popped up occasionally just to check in, but I never brought up the weird rules I found. But now I was wide awake, probably from the fright I had gotten from the radio she gave wishing me a good night. I stood up out of bed and looked around me, seeing nothing but forest. It was dark and creepy, but the darkness was a good thing. No fires. I knew that at night there were other watchers. Less were needed as fire is much easier to spot at night, but it was still important that I knew what to do if it was me who spotted one. I was just about to hop back into bed when I started hearing a scratching noise. That's strange, but it's probably an animal down by the storage box, scratching, trying to get in. Jumping to bed, tired after the first day, I reached down to turn my lamp off. Just as I do this, the scratching got faster, almost as if whatever is making it is getting excited. I move my hand away from the lamp switch, and the scratching slows. That's weird. What else is weird is that the scratching seems almost methodical, as it has a rhythm to it. Suddenly, both my radios start to emanate a high-pitched noise. What the fuck? Shitting myself, I hopped out of bed and turned off the portable radio, and just as I was fiddling with the big radio, I caught a glimpse of the list of rules I had seen earlier. There was something about scratching, wasn't there? Oh shit. I'm not the superstitious type, but I ain't taking any chances. Quickly grab the list. Rule 7. If you hear any scratching at any point, either on your hut or by the outhouse, turn off all radios and hide underneath your covers until the scratching stops. Fuck. I turned off the big radio and jumped under my covers. What the fuck, man? I could still hear the scratching, but it sounds closer. It was weak now, as if whatever was making it was dragging their fingernails across the door frame. I ain't moving. What the fuck is it? It's the next morning. I had eventually fallen asleep under the covers last night. The scratching had stopped, but I didn't move from my covers at all, eventually letting tiredness take over. Looking back, I feel kind of stupid. I'm in the woods. There's a fuck ton of animals and radios can pick up all types of feedback. I guess it's making sense that the first night was the hardest, trying to adjust to living 100 feet up alone in the middle of the woods. Ah well, I'm going to make the most of today. I'm sure the rest of the nights will be much less eventful. All right, that's the end of part 1, and this boy is naive as hell, this Oliver guy. Man, don't you know all the spooky shit happens in the middle of the night? In the woods? Don't you know that? Nothing going to happen scary in the middle of the day. That's not possible, because if it happens in the middle of the day and it's spooky, just imagine what it would happen at night. Fuck that. And that's why I don't really mess with the woods. I mean, I know a lot of people love the mountains and shit, but that's where boogeymans are and stuff like that. I'm not for it. I'm just not down for it, especially in groups. That's how a bunch of people die. But Mountain Dew break. But yeah, I'm digging this. This is prime spooky shit. And this right here, to me, I know it's gonna sound stupid. It's part of the Nosleep stick, but does it not feel like you could see this happening in like Oregon or like California, where it's like the Rocky Mountains and it's just trees all over the place, and like some woman died there, and is haunting the area. And if you don't follow her rules, you die. That's what, like, I can see this happening of like, bro, you ain't gonna believe this shit, but I found this set of rules, and this is what happened for the next 2 months. And I'm gonna tell you my story. That's basically what it feels like it's part of the Matrix or something. But we're gonna dive into part 2. So let's get to it because I'm super excited. Part 2. I can't stop thinking about the scratching noise last night. What was it? It has to be an animal, right? Fuck. I hope it's an animal. I'm also trying not to think about that list, but man, it's hard not to. I've brought it with me just in case. Although, I feel sort of silly doing it. I bet it's a prank. It's only my second day and I'm already being pranked. My mind is racing around the place. Anyways, I'm currently on a patrol, just walking some of the routes and pathways and making sure no one is camping in any of the openings. It's getting dark, so I think I'm going to head back. I'm just about to take a turn that will circle me back to my tower when I catch a glimpse of a campsite. Here we go, my first real task, telling campers that they have to pack up and leave. This area is for hiking only. I head on over. The campsite has been set up in a large clearing in the trees. There's just a single reddish yellow tent and a dried out fire pit. Hello? I call out. You can't be camping here. It's for hiking only. Silence. No reply. I walk closer to the campsite, veering towards the fire pit in case something jumps out of the tent at me. I'm such a wimp. I call out again. Hello? Is anyone there? Nothing. That's when I start to feel weird. Something didn't feel right. Can't explain it. It was just off. I'm sure whoever has set this up is just hiking and will be back. But it's almost dark, which made me worry. Wait, there was a rule about this, I think. I took the list out of my pocket and quickly scanned. Sure enough. Rule 8. If you are investigating a campfire at night, and upon your arrival you hear a woman scream, run back to the tower as fast as you can. Okay? Well, not okay, but okay. I've not heard a scream. It's just an empty campsite. There isn't even a live fire. I'll radio Allison. Allison, hey, there's a campsite here. No fire, but no people either. What should I do?
Whereabout is it?
She replied instantly. I gave her my coordinates after referring to the map, which I had to use my flashlight to view as it was getting to be complete darkness.
I got it. It's just on the edge of my zone. I'll head down there now. You could just go back to your tower, okay?
Allison replied. Right. Are you sure? I asked.
Positive. Head back. Be safe.
Okay, she's the pro. I'll radio her asking how it's going when I get back. I was walking for about 30 minutes. Almost back to my tower when I spotted a clear pathway that jutted off into the woods. Weird. I don't remember seeing that on the map. I thought the road I was on had no paths leading off of it. Figuring I had missed it in the morning and that I'd check it out tomorrow, I trudged on back to my tower. Once back, I sat at my desk just staring at the rules. I hadn't asked Allison about them and don't want to unless something else weird happens. Tonight wasn't even weird. I just found an empty campsite. No women scream like the rules warned. I've been sitting here reading the rules for about 20 minutes when my main radio goes off.
Hey, Oscar, I've dealt with the camper. He said he was taking a shit by the trees and wasn't aware he wasn't allowed to camp here.
Allison explains.
He must have been doing his business when you were by the site. I'm walking him to his car now. All good.
Okay, thanks for dealing with that. Good night. Feeling bad, she tracked all the way out there for that. As I got into bed. It's the next afternoon. Last night was fine, no issues. I'm feeling more safe and secure now, and have left the list on my table today. I spent the morning eating a lot. I think my appetite is growing due to all the walking around. I've just been staring at a lot of... Okay. It's the next afternoon. Last night was fine, no issues. I'm feeling more safe and secure now, and have left the list on my table today. Spent the morning eating a lot. I think my appetite is growing due to all the walking around. I've just been staring a lot out at the woods from my tower, which is calming. It's time for my late afternoon rounds to make sure nobody's camping. But first I want to check out that weird trail that ain't on any maps. I get to it quite quickly. It's relatively close. And sure enough, it's as clear a trail as any. It's as if it had been maintained just as well as the main ones. I trudged along it, not expecting much. It's a bit downhill, but not a hard walk. I've been walking for about 5 minutes, and I think I could see the end of the trail. And that's all I see. Just an end. That's kind of shit. This leads to literally nothing. Just a wall of trees. I'm just about to turn back when I see it. There's a small red handkerchief around the branch of a nearby tree. Interesting. Walk up to it, and just as I approach it, I see another one, slightly deeper in the woods. Behind that, another one. Oh, fuck. Am I about to be an idiot and walk right into a serial killer's trap by following these? Almost as if I want to prove to myself I'm not a wimp. I'm going to follow them. I have gotten past 5 handkerchiefs, each plain red with no inscription or anything, and I'm about to reach another. The difference is that this one is on the ground. The rest were all branches. Past this one, I can't see anymore. That's a bit annoying. Sighing as I reach down to pick up the last handkerchief to inspect it. What the fuck? This is tied around something. Something wooden, kind of heavy. I heave it up. Dirt raises off the wooden door as it reveals a small bunker. This is so fucking cool. It's literally about 10 feet deep and about 10 feet wide. Has a ladder on its wall by where the door was lifted. I shine my flashlight in and I can see a sleeping bag on the floor below and a camera. That's it. I climbed down the ladder. It was sturdy. I felt like it had been crafted well. In fact, the whole bunker seems pretty clean for being an underground bunker. But there's literally just a sleeping bag in here and a camera with a charger plugged into the camera itself, but obviously not to any wall socket as it's a fucking bunker. I pick the camera up and try to turn it on. It's dead. It's a relatively modern camera. It has a screen to view pictures on one side, which seems fine other than a slight scratch. The main lens of the camera, though, has been smashed. Looks like its days of taking pictures were over. I'm charging this when I get back to my tower. I'm excited to see what it is. I'll radio Allison about it when I get back, otherwise she'll know I'm starting my actual rounds late. You'll never fucking guess. The campsite from last night is back. Hell, it looks like it never left. It's exactly where I saw it last night. Has this guy come back thinking he could sneak back into the exact same spot? I'm literally looking at the same reddish yellow tent in the same position. The only difference is that the campfire is lit this time around, which was the only other light providing other than my flashlight. Annoyed, I figure I'll deal with this guy, then radio Allison the good news that I dealt with it myself. I march up to the tent and reach to pull back the cover. I don't care if I give him a fright. He shouldn't be here and he knows that. I pull the cover off. Wait, what? There's nothing in the tent. I mean, nothing. No person, no sleeping bag, no rucksack, just dirt. The fire is burning strong behind me as I swivel around towards it. Scanning the trees beyond its fiery glow, feels like something is staring at me. I quickly kick the fire and pour what's left of my water on it to put it out. I'm literally plunging myself into complete darkness right now. The fire is out. I'm keeping my flashlight pointed to the ground because I can't bear to look at the trees beyond the campsite, still feeling uneasy. All right, we're going to stop right here real quick because this is getting good. So the thing that popped in my mind reading about the campsite and it's been in my mind for a while now. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I feel like this is a simulation. Like, what if this fire tower is the only one in the woods and they put people in there and they see if they can follow these rules, and like Allison is probably like some fake person that's in like a lab or something, and they just set like almost like what is it, Cabin in the Woods or something like that, where a bunch of people go in the cabin and they're like there's just cameras all over the place, so they watch them to see how they react in the woods and stuff. So I just feel like, since we haven't actually seen Allison, I feel like she's in on it. Like, I don't think we'll ever see her. She's just going to be a voice on the radio. But that's what keeps popping in my mind. And that last part where they're like, he's like, keep the flashlight pointed to the ground because I can't bear to look at the trees beyond the fire, still feeling uneasy. I don't know how many times I've had that feeling where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to look at my feet while I'm walking, because if I look up and I see a boogeyman out in the distance while I'm walking in the dark, I'm literally going to poop my pants. Like, I can see that now. I understand that feeling. Like, that's perfect. Like, that's exactly how I'd feel too. Is like, he's not that familiar with the trees and the woods in that area. So having that uneasy feeling, and he's talking about being a wimp. You know how much balls it takes to put out a fire when you feel like you're being watched, and now you're in complete darkness, and the thing that might be hunting you has night vision, so they can completely see you still, and you can't. Like, dude, fuck that. Anyways, I just felt like I had to interrupt, have my thought go out there, but let's keep going. I reach to Radio Allison. A blood-curdling scream pierces the silence, coming from the growth of trees just beyond the campfire. Holy shit. The scream is one that I could never have imagined. It's a scream of pure pain, pure rage. A dark figure bursts from the trees, screaming all the while, and starts to run at me. I only make it out part of its silhouette before turning to run myself. But I noted the shape of a human, a woman, with long hair and arms flailing loosely by her side as she sprinted at me. I'm running through the woods that I'm only just coming to learn, staying on the path I know leads back to my tower. She hasn't stopped screaming, still chasing me, the long drawn-out scream, all I can hear, piercing my thoughts. Making a sharp turn on the path, I start to scream myself, although I can't even hear my own over hers. I'm over halfway back to the tower. Do I look back? Holy fuck, I can't. It'll slow me down. What the fuck? The scream is getting louder. She's fucking ganging on me. How the fuck is she still screaming? The tower. I see the dim glow from the lamp I had left on in the hut above, breaching the darkness ahead of me, providing me with hope. I reach the stairs, bolting up them at full speed. The winding staircase is sort of uneven, so I'm stumbling every few steps, but I've yet to lose my balance. Halfway up, I hear her bolt into the first few steps. She is fast. I can hear it. She's ganging on me, but I think I can make it. I'm at the top. I run into my hut, and as I slam the door, the scream suddenly stops. I'm wedged up against the door, adrenaline pumping, holding my flashlight like a weapon ready to fight. The sudden silence doesn't help. At least when she was screaming, I knew where she was. My ears were still ringing, though, as I stayed heaved against the door. It's been an hour now since the screaming stopped, and since then, I've not heard a sound. My adrenaline has died, but I'm still fucking terrified. I'm finally going to move from the door and Radio Allison. Unable to speak before from the fear. If that's a prank, that's fucked up. Although, for my sake, I hope it is a prank. I flick the main radio on. Allison, I instantly grasp. Allison, fucking answer! After what feels like an hour of silence, but was probably only half a minute or so, I hear a screechy moan. That's not Allison, is it? It was a woman's voice, sounded in pain. What if that freaky thing that chased me got to Allison? Just as I was about to respond to check up on her, the radio sounded again. What started as another moan got louder, turning into a scream. It was the same fucking scream. The same scream that will haunt my dreams, tainting them in pain and anger. She was screaming through the radio. I slam it off.
Good morning, man. How'd you sleep?
Allison chirped the next morning. Allison, I replied, wearily from the lack of sleep the previous night. What the fuck is this list I found? Alright, end of part 3. That is some good shit. I knew it was gonna fucking happen. I could just sense it. I just, like, these rules, dude. That last part got me. Because, so, in my mind, when I'm reading stuff, like, I make a movie in my mind, and I draw, like, references. I don't know why, but I thought of the witch from Left 4 Dead. The one that, like if you lean, like, if out in the distance you hear her cry and you get too close, she starts, like, running at you. That's who I thought of when they were, like, when he was, like, I saw, like, a woman and she's running with her arms, like, by her side and stuff. For whatever reason, my brain put the witch from the Left 4 Dead, the original game, in that, and it fits so well that it makes it even creepier to me in my brain. But the fact that he picked up on the and knew it wasn't like a legit response from her is pretty genius on his part, because I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? And I would have been dead, because, you're not supposed to answer whatever is on the other side of the radio other than your closest tower. And he was able to pick up that it wasn't her voice. So props on him. And yeah, I feel like the ending was very, very justified of like, hey buddy, how you doing? What the fuck is going on? So I feel like that is justified. But I am super excited. I want to keep going. Let's dive on into part 3.
What list?
Allison radioed back. I explained everything that had happened, from finding the list, to the scratching, to being chased by a crazy demon bitch last night. Allison sighed deeply, as if to say, here we go again.
This has happened before. In fact, it happens to every person who gets assigned your tower.
Allison stated.
I don't know what to believe anymore. At first, I thought it was just people going crazy from the isolation. I mean, I've never seen anything, but after Harvey, and you only after, 4 days? I don't know what to believe.
Harvey? I replied. Who's Harvey?
The guy before you. He lived in your tower for over a year, refused to ever go home or take a holiday.
Allison continued.
He was a tough guy, good with his hands. He always had a project going on, something towards the end. I wouldn't hear from him for days. I think he spent entire nights out of his tower. No idea where he went, though.
Towards the end? I asked. I wasn't letting that slide by.
Yeah, he disappeared. Mark thinks he ran off. His tower was apparently just empty when he checked up on him. No bags, no belongings, no Harvey. But I don't know. Why would he just quit after a year of refusing to leave the woods at all?
Allison continued.
But in the months leading up to his disappearance, he became obsessed with a smiling lady. Claimed he would see her at night, but he never went into detail. If I questioned him, he would just stop replying. Like I said, he didn't talk to me much.
But him leaving didn't explain why the job advertisement stated the job may suddenly become available. So I questioned Allison on that.
I don't know about that part.
She replied.
I've been working here 2 years, and Mark still never tells me anything.
And who worked here before Harvey? I pondered.
Another guy, Rick?
Allison said.
He left a few days after I started, but he asked me once if I had seen a woman in the woods, a woman that smiles. I said no, thought nothing of it, thought he was weird.
I didn't feel content with the amount of information I was receiving. Unsure if she generally doesn't know much or is hiding something. So I decided to ask her about it. What made you take this job?
Well, fuck me. I guess we're opening up to each other this morning, are we?
Allison nervously chuckled. I didn't reply, waiting for her to answer my question.
My sister, she went missing in these woods.
She said, voice trembling.
It was right before I started. I took the job to, I don't know, try to find her or try to help others who might get lost. I don't know.
I'm sorry about your sister, Allison. I felt bad for asking. That's courageous of you, though. I'm not going to ask any more questions. Not yet. I'm not sure how much she's actually telling me. But at the moment, it feels like she's my ally. And I want to keep it that way. I thanked her for talking to me. I trust her, I think. I feel a bit more at ease, although I'm not sure why. Harvey apparently just disappeared, and both he and Rick claimed to have seen the smiling lady. Was that the lady that chased me last night? The camera I found was now charged up. It's evening. I still haven't slept. I've not really moved. I've just been trying to make sense of all the information Allison gave me, but I can't. Maybe the camera will provide some answers. It flickers on. On the screen, 3 choices. Photo, gallery, settings. I choose gallery. The first few photos aren't exciting. There's a few photos of a random lake, a random house, a random car. Nothing that helps me. Flickering through them at such a fast pace, I almost didn't realize that I'd skipped over a picture of the tower. My tower. And at the base of the tower, a family of 3. Father has dark hair, quite tall, and looks as if he's experienced with the outdoors. Big, sturdy guy. The mother, a blonde woman with a beautiful smile, her arm on her husband's shoulder. The third member is a child, A boy with short brown hair and a striking resemblance to who I guessed to be his father. I continued to look through the photos, but no longer see the family together, only the man. He was taking selfies inside my tower, taking photos of the view from my window, of the outhouse and some of the trails. Was this Harvey or Rick? If it were Harvey, why would he not want to leave the woods to see his family? Then the photos got stranger. The next photo is of a bunker. The bunker. The one I found nearby, built into the ground holding only the sleeping bag and this camera. It looked unfinished, a work in progress. With each picture, it looked more complete. Whoever had this camera was building it. Allison said Harvey was good with his hands, didn't she? Why would he build a bunker in the woods? And so close to the tower? The next photo, of a random tree in the darkness. In fact, the next 4 or 5 photos are of this tree. At the base of the tree, a shadow. A weird, distorted shadow. A shadow that doesn't make sense. Was Harvey, or whoever this guy is, trying to take a photo of something? Was he trying to take a photo of the smiling lady? What the fuck was that noise? What time is it? 2:13. Something just woke me up. I can't hear anything now, but something definitely woke me up. I was so tired from the night before that I wouldn't have just woken up on my own accord. Maybe it's I hear faint crying, a woman's cry. It doesn't sound too close, but I sit up in bed as I listen to the long, mournful wails. I know this rule. Rule 3. If you hear a woman crying between the hours of 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., ignore it. Except, I can't ignore it. It sounds so sad, so broken. Part of me wants to go and help her. The other part of me wants to investigate and get answers. No part of me wants to ignore it. Quietly as I can, I slide on my gear, grab my flashlight and radio, and open the door to my hut. I carefully went down the stairs, shining the light at my feet to ensure I don't trip. The crying is coming from an area of the woods off the path, so I carefully tread towards the dark cluster of trees. The cries are of such pain, such sadness. I can only compare them to that of a mother who has lost her child, wailing in complete despair, losing a part of her soul with every agonizing sob. My flashlight is off now, as the crying is getting louder. I'm crouched down, moving bush to bush, tree to tree. The air is foggy, cold, getting colder the closer I get. As I crouch behind a tree, I see her. She sat down by a tree, her face covered, crying into her hand. She is side on to me, and has long dark hair which sprawls down her back and rests in the dirt. Although I can't see it too clearly, she's wearing a gown which seems clear and undamaged. What is damaged though are her arms. Her arms are twisted, broken. One of her elbows is bent backwards, with bones jetting out under the skin from both her forearms. Although not piercing though, her fingernails long, sharp. Not an ounce of meat on her. Her body almost skeletal. Her pale white skin glowing in the darkness, hugging her collarbone, accenting her bony figure. My radio statics only for a second. I quickly look down to turn it off, and as I do, I realize the crying has stopped. I'm still looking down at my radio. Fuck, she heard me. I can't look up. I feel sick. I force myself and slowly look up at her. She's looking at me. She has hollow, dark, wide eyes. They look lifeless, the whites of her eyes providing the drastic contrast of her dark pupils. Her eyebrows are raised. She smiles. Her smile is unnaturally wide, spreading across her face wider than what should have been possible, baring all her teeth. Her smile is so menacing, dark. On her face, remnants of the tears she had cried. Some tears still dripping off her sharp cheekbones and dripping down her narrow neck, except she wasn't crying now. She looked excited. I'm about to run. I can't look away from her, but I'm trying to convince myself to fucking run. I need to run. I've been staring at her for about half a minute, and she hasn't moved. Her eyes still locked with mine, her smile sinister. Just as I'm about to muster the courage to turn my back on her and run, she moves. In one quick motion, her neck snaps to the side with a click, and she crawls into the darkness beyond her. The movement so fast, her broken arms cracking as she shot away. This is my chance. I turn to run. I run hard. I don't look back. I'm dodging trees, running into others, but not stopping. Why did she just leave me alone like that? Fuck. There's the tower. I run up the stairs, stumbling into my hut, slamming the door. I hear nothing. From the safety of my hut, I'm looking around the base of the tower, the woods around me. I see nothing. Fuck it, I'm getting under my covers. I turn my lamp on, jump into bed. Shaking, I try to calm myself so that I can listen to my surroundings, listening out for her over my pounding heart. But I hear nothing. There is nothing but silence. Just as I peep from my covers, building up the courage to radio Allison, I see it. Scratch marks on the floor of my hut. Marks that weren't there before. Marks I must have missed when I raced in. They look like something made by an animal. Made by something crawling. The marks are from the door of my hut all the way across the room to my bed. I couldn't see her outside because she was already inside the hut with me. She's under the bed. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God. Yes. I'm sorry for interrupting. That was the end of part 3. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm hooked, baby. Let's fucking go. That man was fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I know I broke the tension saying that, but that man, he should have read the rules, bruh. Like, come on, man. They're there for a reason. Now she's in the fucking hut without, like, it sounds like the rules are there because she's letting you know when she's coming. But now you broke rule 3, so she doesn't have to tell you when she's coming. That's what you get for fucking up, I guess, right? Yeah, I am so fucking excited. We're going to keep going. I hope everybody is digging this story because masterpiece. SquishyCabbage, dude, you rock. And yeah, I can't wait to keep going. So we're on to part 4 of 8. We're halfway through the story. I can't wait. Let's keep going. This guy is going to die because he keeps not listening to the rules. Well, let's go. Dive into part 4. I'm fucking frozen. I know she's there. I can feel it. She's under my bed. What do I do? I think back to the rules. Was there anything about this? There are 2 rules that could help, but I don't know which one to follow. Rule 6. If you wake up and see the smiling woman staring at you through your window, hide under your covers and hold your breath. She will come into your hut, and you will feel her breathing right above you as if she is hovering over you. Do not breathe. This will last only a few seconds. Once you feel her leave, turn on the main light until morning. Or, Rule 9. If at any point you are returning to your tower and you notice someone else inside it, run. Do not stop until you reach the next tower. Don't look back. She will be chasing you. Do I hide under the covers until she leaves? Like Rule 6? Or do I run because she's inside my tower? Like Rule 9? She was already inside it when I entered, so that's Rule 9, right? I hear her. Not loud, but I hear her. The kind of sound made when someone is trying to move slowly whilst trying to not break the silence. The slightest shuffle. A second later, a slight cracking noise. Her arms, they're moving. With it, a low, stiffened groan. I close my eyes. I need to make up my mind. Do I stay under the covers or run? Rule 6 or Rule 9? I feel the slightest tug at the bottom of my covers. It wasn't a hard tug and only lasted a second. Following this, a second tug, slightly harder than the last. I choose Rule 9. With an explosion of speed, I leap out of my bed and burst through the doors. As it slams behind me, I don't see her. I don't look. Luckily, I'm already in my shoes from earlier. I'm halfway down the tower and I hear a bang above me, the door slamming as she leaves the hut. I'm at the bottom of the tower and I hear steps above me. She's halfway down the tower. I'm running towards the path and I hear the shuffle of dirt and grass behind me. She's at the bottom of my tower. I'm running towards the bunker. The sound behind me gets louder. She's catching up. She's on the path. I reach the bunker and quickly open it. I swing into the ladder and I shut the panel above me. I hear her. She's moving around above me. on the wood and the grass around it. Her low moan freezes me, making my hair stand on end. As she chokes in anguish, I'm in the corner of the bunker. I'm staring up towards the door, but I can't see through the darkness. She's still above me. I hear her movements. They're a mix of fast, sudden jolts and slow, almost confused movements. Maybe she didn't see me go into the bunker. Maybe she doesn't even know about it, or can she not get in? Is this where Harvey would spend his nights when he wasn't in the tower? Allison said she didn't know where he would spend some of his nights. Was it here? I can't hear anything now. It's been 20 minutes. I think the creature above me has gone, but I'm not being an idiot. I'm staying here till morning. Eventually drift off to the calm sound of the wind caressing nearby trees. So, last night was too close. I'm looking back at my decisions to investigate. I feel stupid. I'm not sure if it was from my lack of sleep or she cast some fucked up spell on me. But I won't be making decisions like that again. I'm going to be a stickler to the rules. It's morning. I'm still in the bunker. I eventually build up the courage to lift the panel above me and peep out. Blinded by sunlight, after being enshrouded in darkness for so long, all looks clear. Weary, I climb out and head to my tower. I'm quickly climbing the stairs to my tower when I hear a voice behind me. Hello? I shit myself, spinning around and almost falling off the side of the staircase. There's a girl at the base of my tower, a normal-looking girl. She has brown hair, glasses, and is carrying a large rucksack. She's wearing hiking gear and is smiling at me. I'm sorry to scare you, she says. Hi, I'm Samantha. Sam. I'm still just staring at her, heart pounding. Mark's daughter, she explains. Here to top off your food. Allison had mentioned that Mark or his son would be here for that. No mention of a daughter. Oh, hey, I reply, voice shaking. Sorry, you scared me. I'm Oscar. Hi, I'm Sam, she reiterates, still smiling. Are you okay? I force a weak smile and nod. Just gave me a fright, that's all. I thought it was Mark or his son that tops this up. She laughs. It usually is. I've just kind of recently started helping out, I guess. You're actually my first stop today. It's nice to meet you, Oscar. It's getting dark now. I'm feeling determined to find out what's happening in these woods. Don't get me wrong, I'm scared shitless, but I'm done making bad choices. As far as I know, I could be on my own. I don't know who to trust. Allison, maybe? I'll need to see. Just before heading to bed, I radio her to ask her something. Hey, Allison, I say. Does Mark have a daughter?
Oscar, hey.
She replies a minute later.
I was about to radio goodnight. I'm not too sure about that. Have only seen his son. Why?
Okay, I was just curious.
You okay, Oscar? Has something else happened?
She asks. I'm fine, Allison. Good night. I'm still terrified, but I know what I need to do. These rules are my lifeline. They will keep me alive, so I need to follow them. I know that now more than ever. I'm keeping my shoes on when I sleep tonight just in case. I decide as I turn on the lamp before switching off the main light. I've been laying here in bed for about 30 minutes when I hear it. The scratching again. Rule 7. If you hear any scratching at any point, either on your hut or by the outhouse, turn off all radios and hide under the covers until the scratching stops. The scratching is faint. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere on the staircase, if not down below by the outhouse. Immediately, I rush to my big radio and switch it off. I check my small radio is off, which it is. I swiftly move back to my bed and get under the covers. The scratching continues. It gets louder. Each one is slow and long, mimicking the sound of nails against a wooden board. Each scratch is followed by around 10 seconds of silence, then by another one that sounds closer than the last. Soon, the scratching feels as if it's right by me, almost as if it's on the frame of my bed. I hold my breath and close my eyes. Not a rule. I'm just fucking terrified. The next scratch is longer than the rest. It's either on my bed frame or on the door of my hut. I don't know. I can't think straight, but I'm not going to move. The scratching has stopped now for about 15 minutes. All I can hear is the rustling of trees below as the wind whips through them, creating an atmospheric whooshing sound right past my hut. I had already made the decision to stay under my covers for the remainder of the night, just in case, when I hear another sound, faint footsteps. Each fast thud increases in volume, as I realize she was sprinting up the stairs. In my panic, I forget the rules. Instinctively, I jolt out of my bed and run to my main light switch. I turn it on and the running immediately stops. I am frozen, standing by my light switch, waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. Trembling, I edge towards the list, which I keep beside my bed, pick it up, and check that I've done the right thing. At night, if you hear someone running up the stairs to your tower, also turn on the main light until morning. If you don't do this by the time she's at the top, it's too late. Thank fuck. I had known that my main light was included in more than one of the rules, and I'm so relieved that I had chosen correctly. I am looking around the balcony surrounding my tower, and I see nothing. I'm staring at the top of the stairs for what feels an eternity, but nothing happens. Nothing comes up. The bright glow of the main light makes it impossible to see out into the surrounding woods below, I thought as I sat at my desk. It's been about 2 hours since she tried to run up the stairs, and there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. So, I use my time wisely. I've been intensively reading the map of the surrounding areas, learning the routes around my tower like the back of my hand. However, I have also learned something new. I've managed to learn the route to the next closest tower. It's not too complicated. Whilst I think I can trust Allison, I want to actually meet her. I want to see her for myself and talk freely, face to face, not hiding behind a radio. I've decided tomorrow I'm going to go to Allison's tower. All right, that's the end of part 4. The beginning of it, oh my gosh, when she's under the bed and she's like, almost like she's giving you a warning, like I'm gonna just letting you know I'm taking the cover off. Oh, I'm gonna pull a little harder next time, and then that motherfucker just jumps out and just hauls tail. And I honestly, that was probably the smartest decision to go to the bunker, because he wouldn't know where Allison's tower is, because he just learned how to get to her tower, which if I was believing the rules, I would have learned how to get her tower like day one. And this witch woman, smiling woman thing seems to be testing him a lot, because he's like, there was 2 rules in one night. You know, the scratching and then the running up the stairs. Like, it seems like she's kind of like poking and prodding to see if she can get him, which interesting. I wonder what she's going to do when she does get a hold of him, because he's eventually going to screw up. You know, it's just going to happen. But I'm curious on how the interaction between Allison and Oscar goes. Delicious. But yeah, I'm still digging this. It hasn't lost me yet. The story has been nice. I like it. I like the story. I feel the atmosphere when I start reading. I feel like the tension and the fear of what it would be like to be there, because that is the part that makes it scary, is reading and like putting yourself in that person's like shoes, basically. But we're gonna keep reading. Part 5. I wake up early. I'm only on a few hours sleep, but it'll do. In fact, I'm too driven to even notice. I pack a light backpack, some food, water, flashlight, radio, my map, and my machete. I also carry the camera to see if Allison can confirm if the man in the photos is actually Harvey. The sunlight is peering over the outstretched trees. I've never really taken in the beauty of the sunrise. I'm usually either asleep or scared shitless, but it was beautiful. I decided not to tell Allison I'm coming. Whilst I do feel a degree of trust, I don't want to warn her of my whereabouts, giving her a chance to change or alter anything just in case. I lace up my shoes and I start to trek to Allison's tower. It should only take about 3 hours. The route was relatively direct, and judging from the map, it wouldn't have too many steep climbs or anything. I noticed a stark difference as I ventured out of my zone and into Allison's. Each lookout has a zone. They are to maintain the paths and deal with any issues that may arise within their zone. However, as I made the transition into Allison's, I noticed that her paths were not well maintained. To be honest, they weren't maintained at all. Overgrown trees, bushes, fauna made me thankful I brought my machete. As I hacked away and continued along the barely visible path, it was tiring work, but I wanted to make sure the paths were clear enough to run through, should I suddenly need. I was just losing motivation and starting to get hungry when I reached her tower. It had taken about 5 hours due to the work I had to put in clearing the paths, but I'm here now. The tower is exactly like mine. The same layout with the hut on top of 4 stilts, huddled within a small opening of woods. Her outhouse was on the opposite side, but her food bank was in identical position of mine, just left of the tower's base. However, there's one massive difference I immediately notice. What the fuck? The remains of a massive fire pit, like that of a bonfire, around 50 feet from her tower, surrounded by stones. It looks like one that someone has gotten good use out of. Considering our job to make sure there are no fires at all in the woods, it's a bit fucking strange, isn't it? I make my way up the tower. I'm relatively quiet as I do so, partly because I don't want her to think I'm the smiling lady running up her stairs, but mostly because I'm nervous. Upon reaching the top, I can see the tower has nobody in it. In fact, it looks like it has never had anyone in it. The hut has old nests along the top of it, old spiderwebs along the banisters, and dust literally everywhere. I go to open the door. It's locked. That's weird. My tower doesn't even have a lock. I peer through the glass, squinting to see through the thick layer of dust on the inside of the window. It's dark. Darker than it should be in there. I can make out the main radio on the table next to the stack of what looks like newspapers and files. The bed, messy, unkept. There's a bag peering out from under the bed. I'm guessing it's her rucksack. From what I can see, there are no books, there are no deck of cards, nothing to keep her occupied during the day. How does she stay sane? I decided to radio her. I'm not trekking all this way not to meet her. I pick up my radio. Allison, come in.
Hey.
A fast reply.
What's up, Oscar?
Hey, just wondering, I say as I decide to investigate a bit before letting her know I'm here. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in my tower. Why?
She replies. What the fuck? I'm certain that this is the right tower. This is her tower. I'm looking into it, and nobody's there. She's lying to me. It's nothing, I lie, trying to mask my trembling voice behind one of confidence. Just some campers on the edge of my zone. I'll deal with them. No reply. Did she buy it? Does she believe me? Reply, Allison. I need to know if you believe me or not.
Cool. Nice one, Oscar. Thanks for that.
Okay. Thank fuck. She believes me, I think. I decide to head down the tower and hide behind a tree nearby. I wanted to scope this out. Maybe she was just heading back to the tower, so she said she was already there. It could just be a misunderstanding, so I'm going to scope the situation out and see what happens. It's been over 30 minutes. There's not even a sign of her. Not any sign of anything. In fact, this area is completely quiet, completely dead. Where there is the rustles of animals, the sound of distant hikers. It is so quiet. Too quiet. During the wait, I had told myself that if she doesn't come back soon, I'm going to break into her tower. I have no idea if that's legal or not. It's technically the property of my employer, right? I'm guessing it's illegal, but I need to investigate. And I need to do this soon before it gets dark. I hit the door with the butt of my machete, just above the doorknob. A loud bang breaks the eerie silence, followed by the crack of a door as it swings open, freezing me for a second as I wait for something to happen. Nothing. I head inside, dust hits me, and I hold myself back from coughing. I need to be quiet, and I need to be fast. The inside of this hut is cold, weirdly colder than the temperature outside. I walk over to the stacks of newspapers and files. The headline for the first newspaper I see gives me chills. Sister hikers missing. I skim the article. It's these woods. 2 sisters missing. Was this Allison's sister? She only told me she had one sister missing. Was she the other one? This doesn't make sense. I flicked through the rest of the newspapers, most just reiterating the two sisters were still missing, until one sister found after being missing for 3 weeks. The article stated that one of the sisters had been found alive and well, but the other was still missing. It says that they were separated after getting lost in the woods. Allison hadn't mentioned that she had also gotten lost. If this was about her, did she consider that too personal, or did she lie? I turned my attention to the files. Inside one piece of paper. It's headlined, Oscar. What the fuck? Under it, information about me. Information I had shared with her about my divorce and why I took the job, my age, what I look like. Maybe she kept these just so she wouldn't forget. An odd way of trying to be friendly. Wait, how does she know what I look like? We've never met. How does she know what I look like? Something fucking weird is going on here. I turned my attention to the bag under the bed. It's a big rucksack, dark blue. I pull it out and open it up. Inside, clothes. They look like male clothes. T-shirts, hiking pants, rain jacket. I dig deeper. I find a hammer. And then a wrench. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. The next item I take out, a pair of sunglasses. Ingrained on the side, RS. Initials? Definitely not Allison's, but somebody's. I reach my hand into the bottom of the bag and feel a small metal object. I lift it out. It's a pocket knife. It's a very nice knife. Looks like something that someone has personally designed. It's got a golden outline, and laced through it is a mix of wavery silver and black designs. There's something engraved on it too, in very small letters. To my love, to you, Harvey. What the fuck? Why does she have Harvey's knife? Is this his stuff? Is this where his stuff went after he disappeared? I'm not taking anything. She'll know I was here, but I'm getting out of here. I don't feel safe. As I stand to leave, I hear a familiar voice behind me. Allison's voice.
You know, all she wants is to make you smile.
All right, that is the end of part 5. That I knew Allison. I got it kind of wrong. I guess she is part of the. She is not like some secret ops investigation with the government or whatever. But I knew she was. I knew there was something weird with her. I just didn't know what it was. If that makes sense. But her collecting her neighbors' things seems a little. I don't know. Seems poor taste in my mind. But that's just me. I feel like this one is this one was a setup for part 6. Cuz I feel like there was a lot of information being built, like the fires, the bomb fires next to her tower. Why is she not keeping up with her side of her district area her area of the woods? Like, I would keep all that stuff up tip-top shape in case I have to run. But then again, she's been there so long that she probably knows her woods plus Oscar's woods like the back of her hand, so she could just disappear in the woods and then she, wiggles her way out in another path and now she's gone. But I feel like like I said, I feel like that was a setup. I'm ready to see what happens in part 6. I'm super curious to see what happens. We are going into part 6 now. I spin around. Behind me, a woman stands between me and the door. She is slightly shorter than me with messy, unwashed blonde hair, which expels out at all angles. Her clothes, long, light brown hiking pants, ruined by old dirt and stains. Similarly, her light red checkered shirt looks like it's seen better days. Wrinkled, dirty, a ripped seam from the end of one of her sleeves. Her face, normal, or at least human. The bright blue irises of her eyes provide a direct contrast of their red, bloodshot surroundings. She looks like she hasn't slept in weeks. Her frenzied eyes screaming insanity, looking at me menacingly, with her hands drooped by her side. Her frail body is one of malnourishment, one of abandonment. Allison? I stammered. What do you mean she wants to make me smile?
She just wants to make you smile.
Allison replied, still staring at me with a crazed look in her eyes. Right, Allison. What is going on? I tried to act confident. Are you okay? Allison moves towards the bed. I circle around the hut as she does so. I'm now by the door. A good start. She sits down on the bed and looks down at the dusty floor. I see a tear run down her face. This is a broken woman.
We went missing.
Allison gulped.
Both of us. And I got saved. And she didn't. I couldn't tell them what I did. But it was bad. And now She
trailed off. What did you do, Allison? I'm ready to reach for my machete at any moment.
We got lost. And we were lost for so long. She kept telling me, it's going to be okay, Allison. They'll find us, Allison. But they didn't. For so long. And I got so hungry. She was always so positive. Always smiling. But food. We couldn't catch anything. Nothing worked. We tried, Oscar. I promise we tried.
She said, her voice straining. Okay, Allison. I know you tried. What happened? She looked up. I jumped. But she only continued to speak.
She was looking at me, smiling, when I pushed her. I pushed her far, off the side. It was the moment of weakness, a moment of hunger. She fell so far. Her arms, they cracked. She wasn't moving. I was so hungry.
She looked back to the ground.
She died while she lived, smiling.
My stomach churned. She killed her own fucking sister. I've heard hunger makes you do crazy things. I've heard it makes you do anything for food.
But after I pushed her, I couldn't do it.
She looked up at me once more, tears welling in her otherwise frantic eyes.
And the next day, they found me.
My stomach dropped. They found her only a day after that. Whilst I was scared of her, I felt a sense of sympathy for Allison. I couldn't live with that. A moment of madness defining my life forever. And for what? For literally nothing.
And then she found me.
Allison whispered as she looked back to the ground, another tear rolling down her cheek. Who found you? I asked, hoping it wasn't who I think she'll say. My blood frozen.
My sister, still smiling, still hungry. She's taking revenge on me. And she's taking revenge on you.
Allison stood up and looked at me.
On all of you.
I took a small step back, backing out of the hut, not taking my eyes off Allison. What have I done? I asked.
She blames you all. You couldn't find her. It's your job, our job, to find her. Instead, she found me, and I won't lose her again.
Allison started walking slowly towards me. Allison, I didn't even fucking work here. I had never been to these woods. I am starting to panic as I take steps backwards. Allison, we can get you help. We can get you out.
She gets hungrier every time. She's never satisfied anymore. There is no getting out.
As she said this, I knew why the surrounding woods were so quiet.
Harvey even worked out the 10 rules, and she still got to him eventually. Rules not even I can work out.
Allison, for the first time, starts to smile.
And Oscar, she's very hungry now.
She lunges at me with a sudden sharp screech, arms outstretched. Her weak frame is easy to overpower. I roll her to her side and with a swift movement, push her away from me. She stumbles and her foot slides off the side of the balcony. She loses her balance, hitting the wooden floor with a thud before falling from the side of the tower. It all happened so fast. I fell to the floor as I push her, almost out of shock. I hear her hit something on the way down, probably the steps, followed by a solid thud as she meets the ground below. She didn't once scream as she fell. Holy fuck, I just killed her. Holy fuck. I scramble to my feet and rush down the stairs, hoping she's not dead. When I reach the bottom, I see her lying 10 feet from the tower's base, face down, arms broken, twisted, the small pool of blood oozing from her head and feeding the soil below. I'm running back to my tower, stopping briefly only when the exhaustion takes over. I should be able to get there before it's dark. Fuck this, I'm getting out of these woods. Allison's fucking insane. She attacked me. It was self-defense. She's fucking insane. Something she said is really sticking with me. Harvey worked out the 10 rules. On the sheet that I know was written by Harvey, there were only 9. What is the 10th rule? This at least explains how Harvey survived for so long. A year. The poor man before him, Rick, who I now suspect owned the glasses in Allison's hut, only survived a week. But Harvey had 9 rules. 9 ways the smiling lady can get to you, and how to avoid her. I'm not sticking around to find out what the 10th is. I'm getting out of these woods. I'm still running back. I can feel something watching me. I see my tower. It's almost dark. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get to my car. Don't want to be walking these woods at night. So I decided I'm going to sleep at the bunker. I figured that's where Harvey spent his nights when he wasn't at the tower. I figured that's key how he survived for so long. And it even saved me in the past. I'm going to run up to the tower, grab my main ruck, and go to the bunker. I'm on the verge of passing out from dehydration, so I'm in need of more water, which is also up in my tower. I'll grab my things and I'll go in and out. In my tower, I frantically gather my things. I turn to leave. I hear something. It's faint, easy to miss, but it's there. I hold my breath, stop moving, listening for what the sound is. Long, slow, quiet sounds. I hear scratching. Rule 7. If you hear scratching at any point, either on your hut or by the outhouse, turn off all radios and hide under your covers until the scratching stops. You're fucking kidding me. She knows. She knows I'm trying to leave. I'm frozen in place, hoping the scratching will stop, knowing that if it doesn't, I'll have to follow the rules. I turn to my radio. Over it, in the woods directly below, I see a pale, white face looking up at me. The same stringly dark hair dangling from her head. The same wide, sinister smiling plastered across her face. Her white skin illuminated by the surrounding darkness. I see none of her body, just her face emerging from the black of night. She's looking up at me, her excited eyes locked with mine. She knows I'm trying to escape. I have to spend one last night here, and I feel like she's going to do everything she can to get me. I break out, gaze, and turn the radios off before jumping under the covers. What Allison said to me is ringing in my mind. She's so hungry now. All right, that is the end of part 6. Holy shit, this is getting good. I knew Allison was up to something, but the fact that I really thought it was going to go cannibalistic. I really thought that. That's why I was like, why is he prying so hard when he knows where it's going? But luckily, that didn't happen. Apparently, she killed her sister for nothing because the day later, they were fine. You have to think about this. That would mess someone up because it's almost like the movie The Mist, where they shot everyone in the car, and then when the dad's getting ready to shoot himself, the military shows up and it's perfectly fine. It's kind of like that concept of like, bruh, if I just waited like 10 more hours before I just Spartan kicked her off the hill, she would be with me and none of this would be happening. So that is how I feel like that's kind of like, I feel sorry for her. But on the other hand, she did seem kind of crazy. And if we're being honest, she probably deserved being yeeted off the side of the tower. But I also feel like now that she's dead, it's not just going to be Allison's sister. I feel like it's going to be Allison too. They're going to be like teaming up to try to like kill Oscar because, you know, one of them got killed by him and the other one is hungry apparently. But let's dive on in. This shit is good. We eating good today, boys. Part 7. The scratching stops shortly after I go under my covers. I can literally feel her hunger in the air, looming above my tower, focusing in on me. I peek from my bed once. I'm certain that the scratching noise have stopped. I don't want her to catch me off guard. I want to be ready for anything she throws at me. I stand up and circle around the balcony of my hut, scanning the surrounding area. Where she stood before, she no longer does. I knew she was fast. Previously, she had beaten me back to my tower when I found her crying in the woods. She could be anywhere. I turn back to walk into my hut. I'm looking out of the woods as the reflection of the dull lamp starts to flicker behind me. Shit. Rule 4. At night, always sleep with the lamp on. If it starts to flicker, quickly run to turn on your main light until morning. If your light flickers off completely before you can do this, hide under your bed until morning. My eyes adjust as I look at the reflection of the lamp, and she's there, right in front of me, through the glass, standing on my balcony. It's her. Her broken arms descended, her strangly hair wet, her eyes large, her smile wide. Rule 6. If you wake up and see the smiling woman staring at your window, hide under your covers and hold your breath. She will come into your hut and you will feel her breathing right above you as if she is hovering over you. Do not breathe. This will only last a few seconds. Once you feel her leave, turn on the main light until morning. The lamp flickers once more, then shuts off, plunging me into darkness. I have 2 rules that I need to follow. 2 conflicting rules. I can't look away from her right now, but I know I have to turn on the main light. Her neck suddenly snaps to the side and she starts to walk fast. I mean, fast, stomping loud with each step as she makes her way around the balcony towards the door on the other side. Oh fuck. I turn and sprint to the main light. She's about halfway to the door when I turn it on, and now I have to decide whether to hide under the bed or under the covers. I choose the covers. Rule 6 specifically, she will come into your hut, and she's about to do that. I turn towards my bed and pull the covers over my eyes. As I do so, I see the door of my hut open. I hear her loud, fast footsteps charging towards me, but I see only darkness now. I lay beneath thick covers. I hold my breath. I can feel her, just as the rule said I would. She's right above me. I feel her breath. It's cold. My eyes are shut, but I know she's there. I'm trying to hold my breath. My heart is pounding in my chest. My stomach is churning in fear, but I refuse to breathe. Yet she waits, desperate for me to do so. What happens if I breathe? Will she kill me, here and now? Will she possess me? My chest hurts. I can't hold it much longer. She can sense it. She senses I'm struggling. Her aspirated breath are getting more and more excitable. I feel her hair dangling either side of me from above the covers. Wet. Can't do it. I need to breathe. This is it. I'm fucking. My mouth opens. She's gone. She just vanished. I hold it for 3 or 4 more seconds, as long as I physically can, before coughing and gasping for air. But she's gone. No more cold breath. No more presence. I was alone again. I peel back the covers and my hut's door is wide open, swinging in the wind. My main light is still on, as is my lamp once more. Did she just use the flickering of the lamp as an attempt to try to get me to fuck up? To choose the wrong rule? If I had chosen to hide under the bed, she would have killed me. It's been quiet for a few hours. My main light is still on, so is my lamp. I feel slightly safer, but I think that's her game plan. To lure me into false sense of security. I'm not letting my guard down. And I think, fuck, I didn't. I see a fucking campfire right by my tower. The glare of the light from the hut makes it hard to see, but I see it. In fact, I see more than one. There are campfires all around my tower. I walk around the balcony edge. I count 6. By each fire, there are dark human figures with their backs turned towards me. What the fuck? They're all standing, one per fire, looking into it. The figures are of different sizes. One looks like a child. Can't make out a specific feature in the darkness, just their shape. By the 6th fire, there is no figure. Why is there no figure there? Just as my eyes start to adjust to the darkness below, the figures begin to fall into their fires, one by one. The first to fall into its fire resembles a man. The figure is tall and skinny. He drops face first into the flames, almost willingly. As he squirms, the fires engulf him, making it impossible to make out any of his features. His screams pierce the air. As I stare in horror, another figure, a woman, falls into her fire. She screams as the flames cover her, writhing in the fire, but she does not attempt to escape it. The smallest figure, the figure of a child, a boy. As he falls face down into the fire, I gasp. I can't bring myself to scream. My whole body is in shock. The child is silent, twitching violently as the fire burns him. Fourth, the largest silhouette. A large, wide, sturdy shape of a man. He falls into his fire, grunting in pain, holding back screams, but barely moving as he burns. Lastly, the shape of a woman. I turn to her before she falls. I see it. I run inside, grab my flashlight, and run back to where I stood before. As she falls into her fire, I shine it upon her, catching only a glimpse of her messy blonde hair and red checkered shirt, a rip along its sleeve, before the flames take over. There is just one fire left burning, the sixth, the fire with no figure by it. As the screams below me echo into the night, I hear the faint sound of a woman crying, somewhere in the trees below. Oscar! A voice calls out as the first rays of sun peek through the trees. Oscar! You there? I run to the balcony, albeit cautious, and see Sam, Mark's daughter, standing below. She was in the same clothes as the last time I saw her. Sam! I yell. Sam, we have to get out of here. There. Oscar! She shouts back. Oscar, I know everything. I know about Allison, about her sister. I know about Harvey and his family, about Rick. I know everything. We have to get out of here, Sam. We can't, Oscar, she cries out. We have to burn her. We have to burn Allison's sister. Why the fuck do we have to burn her? I scream. That's Rule 10, Oscar. She's going to follow you, no matter where you go. If you leave this place, she'll be a step behind you forever, unless you burn her. That's Rule 10. Find her body and burn it. Rule 10. Burn her body, or she will chase you forever. How the fuck are we supposed to find her body? I shouted, defeated. I know where it is, Oscar. Sam smiles warmly in an attempt to calm me. Let me explain everything on the way. It's nearby. I survived all the other rules. Now I just need to survive one more. That's the end of part 7. We're going on to part 8, which is the final one. What? This is getting excited. I'm so happy I read this. This has been on my radar. Like, I haven't read it, but I read the title and I was like, that's a good one. We're going to have to read this one. And I'm glad we did. Mountain Dew break. But I'm cautious towards Mark's daughter because I feel like it's going to lead us into a trap. I have an eerie suspicion somehow Mark and his weird ass family might be involved, but could be wrong. But we're gonna hop right into part 8 so we can get this going and we can have final remarks at the end, and then we'll conclude our spooky story. The final part 8. I grab my machete. That makes sense that the smiling lady follows you out of the woods. That's why Harvey couldn't leave, and that's why neither could Allison. That's why Allison said there's no getting out, because there isn't, unless we burn her. And Sam, Allison said Mark didn't have a daughter, but was that just to throw me off? To turn me against a potential ally? Either way, I don't fully trust Sam. Not by a long shot. Definitely not until I hear what she has to say. So, I grab my machete. I edge down the steps, approaching Sam. She's looking at me. Her eyes dart to the machete, but she seems like she understands my cautious. Why didn't you tell me all this before? I asked. If you know everything, why didn't you tell me when we first met? I didn't know who to trust, Oscar, she explains. I had known Harvey, and we trusted nobody, not fully, except for each other. And Harvey's dead now. I'm solemn with my words. How did you know him? Yes, she looks down. He is. That was confirmed last night. I struck up a friendship with him when he worked here. I'd bring him extra food and take runs just to see him. That's why I'm in these woods now. I was looking for him, but after last night, it's clear. Yeah, he's dead. How was it confirmed last night? I asked. She seems genuinely heartbroken. The lady, the smiling lady, she seems to focus on one victim at a time. Whilst she's hunting someone, it seems like she ignores everyone else. That's why Allison kept feeding her people, so that her sister wouldn't turn on her. Sam explains. My breathing is heavy, my heart racing. She carries on. Last night, I was looking for Harvey. As I've been doing, I saw the fires around your tower, and I saw those figures falling into them. People she's taken. One of those figures resembled Harvey, and some of the others, his family. I saw the 6th fire, the one she made for you, and I heard her crying to try to lure you out. She focuses on her prey one at a time, which confirms that you're her target. She's already got Harvey. She's never given up on her prey until she gets them. And it's you now. You have to burn her. But I killed Allison, not her. I pushed her when she attacked me. So why did I see her fall into the flames last night? I'm shaking. I haven't actually said out loud that I had killed her. Yes, I thought you might have. The smiling lady wouldn't have attacked her whilst she was focusing on you. But it doesn't mean since Allison's dead, the smiling lady hasn't taken her, hasn't eaten her. She's always hungry. It's all she cares about. Why don't you just burn her fucking body? I shouted. This is fucked up. I'm desperate for a way out of this nightmare. It has to be you. It has to be the one she's hunting. I fucking tried, but I only found her body after Harvey's disappeared. Whenever I tried to burn it, the flames won't light. I don't fucking understand it, but I know it has to be you. She lit a fire for you last night, and it has to be you who lights her. How the fuck can I trust you? Tears rolling down my cheeks. Makes sense while she is looking for Harvey. She needed him to burn her body. Sam pleaded. I hid in a bunker last night. That's how I'm here so easily. It was Harvey's bunker, Oscar. The smiling lady doesn't know about it. That's how he survived so long. I can show you where it is. I know where it is, I whisper. I had no choice. I have to trust her. I have to burn the body. I quickly go upstairs and grab my backpack. In it, I put my lighter and a canister of kerosene. I'm going to follow Sam, but I'm not letting go of my machete. Of course, it's in a fucking cave. On the way, Sam explained that after being pushed, Allison's sister had crawled here, an attempt to find shelter, but had succumbed to her injuries within the cave. She explained that's why I may have seen her crawling, because the smiling lady is replaying her final moments on a loop, which drives her hate. That also explains why she's always smiling. Allison said she was smiling when she pushed her. As Sam stands by the cave, and creviced inside the steep hill, I shine my flashlight into the entrance. I don't see much. It's a thin, tunnel-like structure, around 8 feet across, 15 feet tall. There isn't much room to maneuver should we run into any trouble. I can't see far enough into it to see where it ends. We enter the cave. She's near the end of the cave, Sam whispered. There's like a turn at the end, maybe 300 feet inward. We should be safe. I've never seen her ghost in the day before. Sam trails off. She leads the way. I'm keeping a close eye on her, but that becomes harder the further we go in. Soon we are enveloped in darkness. The light from our flashlights is all we can see. As we leave the daylight behind us and enter the dark, sound soon becomes non-existent. Our footsteps and shallow breathing are only company. Almost as if out of nowhere we meet a wall. To the left, a downward slope that takes us deeper into the cave's abyss. Why the fuck would she go so deep? I whispered. If she was wanting to be rescued. She didn't, Sam's harshly replied. She was at the entrance when she died. Someone moved her further in to protect her. I think Allison. We walked deeper. 10 minutes later, the cave expanded. Usually, spending this amount of time in the dark atmosphere means your eyes adjust. However, mine haven't. It's almost as if this is a type of darkness I haven't experienced before. Or if the smiling lady had put some weird effect on us. I don't fucking know. I just know that other than the light from my flashlight and Sam's in front of me, I can't see shit. A crack behind me. A quick snapping crack. My heart jumps. I spin around to shine my flashlight where the sound originated. I see only legs for a split second, crawling away from me into the darkness from which I came. The bare dirty calves of what looked like a woman shooting out of sight. Fuck. Something's in here with us, and it's alive. The smiling lady is here. I turn to Sam. She's gone. What the fuck? I'm alone. Sam's flashlight is on the ground. What the fuck? Where is she? Do I call out? Fuck. I don't know. I'm going to leave her flashlight. I need one hand to grip my machete, and I can't go back. The smiling lady is behind me. I need to find her body, and I need to burn it, and I need to help Sam. I shine my flashlight around looking for Sam when I see a backpack leaning against the cave's wall. I carefully move towards it, knowing something is watching me from the darkness. My sweaty palms making the machete more difficult to grip. I'm squeezing it as hard as I can. I get to the backpack, quickly scanning the cave around me with the flashlight, but I see nothing but rock. I turn my attention to the bag's contents. It's already open. Doesn't look like it's been here too long, maybe under a week. I hurriedly go through it, an old tarp, a lighter, and the same small canister of kerosene I had taken. The same type that was provided for me at the tower. Also in the bag, a knife. The same style of knife I had found in Allison's tower, only bigger. The same gold outline with silver and black design swimming through it. One of the knives engraved, "Your pair of knives, our pair of knives, my Harvey." Another one of Harvey's knives. This is Harvey's bag. Flick the knife open. Recently used. Its previously sharp edge now blunt, stained with the remnants of stone. I shine my flashlight on the wall the bag leaned against. Writing, scratched into the rock face. 10 Sam lies. Crackling behind me, I spin around, and I see Sam. She's smiling. "Sam?" I start. Her eyes locked with mine. She sees me through the darkness. Her arms start to break, almost as if broken by the wind around them. They snap with jolting movements. Her elbows bent backwards as her bones jut out, hugging the skin under her forearms. With every crack, her smile grows wider. Soon, it's so unnaturally sprawled across her face, her eyes wide with glee. Her skin glows whiter, her hair longer. She is now unrecognizable as Sam. I now know her as the smiling lady. I have fallen for it, just as Harvey had. She needs the darkness. That's why she roams at night. That's why I felt I was being watched as I left Allison's tower. I was, but she couldn't do anything as it wasn't dark. She watched me as Sam during the day, but attacked me as a smiling lady during the night. That note in Allison's tower explained what I looked like. Only Sam had seen me before then. Fuck. I feel so fucking stupid. I was safe from her in the daylight, but it's dark now, and she's changing. She died in the dark, and now she lives in the dark. I stand up, my machete shaking in my hand. I edge towards her. I'm ready to strike. In an explosion of movement either side of me, I am grabbed. The creature crawled at me as I feel their bony hands and arms drag me down. Count 5 of them as I struggle against their grip. There are too many. They are too strong. My flashlight has fallen from my grip and now shines in my direction. I make out the face of my attacker, Harvey, his wife, his child, a tall man, Rick, and Allison. They hold me down. Allison's broken arm cutting me as I struggle. Her shattered bones sharp. As they all pin me against the ground, they smile. I watch a glimpse of Sam as she lunges out of the darkness and bites into my chest. A new man lives in my tower now. He has a family, a dog too, who visits him. We only leave the darkness when she tells us to. She doesn't want to lose us. I smile now. And when she tells me to burn, I burn too. I'm writing this to warn you of the smiling lady in the woods. Do not try to find me. This will be the last time I speak to you all. Do not come looking for me. I belong to her now, and she will never lose me. Holy shit, that was good. I enjoyed the hell out of that. I was not expecting the twist at the end with Sam, and then on top of that, I was not expecting the narrator to lose. That's kind of cool. You don't really get to see a narrator lose. Usually, they're the unspoken hero and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. I like that ending. But this is where we're gonna end it. I feel like I said my piece as we were reading it. Other than like SquishyCabbage, that fucking rocked. I loved it. The imagery in my brain the whole time was just unbelievable. This would be a great fucking movie, I think, if it's done right and they follow the goddamn script or follow the goddamn story. But I really really enjoyed it. I think it was one of the best ones I've ever read. And I'm looking forward to reading more. Down in the comments down below if you've made it this far. Thank you very much for making it this far. I love you, love you, love you, love you for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And down in the comments, please let me know what another story, like short story like this, that you want me to read. I'll read it. And remember, you are loved, you are cared for, and you matter. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.